Password accepted.
All right. Woo! All right, I'll shut it down. All right. Well, I'm going to talk about whale today. I'm going to cover that. I got a lot of things to cover here. Welcome to the TWC. I am fired up about chatting with you guys today. I've got a multitude of subjects I want to touch on. And really what I want to get to is I want to help you win big in life. Now, happy, fun with your kids, with the wife, with the family, husband, mamas and daddies and all that stuff. But, you know, one of the things that we do is our business is a business that helps you create cash flow. So I want to help you create cash flow and freedom where you can walk away from cash flow, where you can travel the world. Because when you travel, you get to go places. So you travel, you go places, see how that works. And you get to see things you haven't seen before because it's places you hadn't been before. Does that make sense to y'all? It's just very, very simple. So before I get into that, I want to let you know that June 18th through 25th, some of us are going to be out of town. We're going to be in Canada at Banff. I want all of you that are going, I look forward to hanging out with you. We've been just sitting around the office going like, we can't wait to see your face when you see how beautiful the sights are in the mountains. If you have never traveled up there, this is the sort of thing that when I first started promoting it, my travel team was like, really? You think this is promotable? And I was like, have y'all ever been to this place? Then they went, they were amazed. So I hope people searched it on the internet and looked and see what the sights. I promise you can't capture how beautiful it is. Although when you looked at it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's a castle and it's mountains and it's glaciers and it is beautiful. So I can't wait to hang out with you. But there's some really cool spots just to sit and chat. And really, that's one of the things I look forward to doing with everybody that won is just sitting around and chatting and dinners and just hanging out. Some really cool places to walk. And the mountain climbing, the Via Ferrata, if you're going on that, it's Italian way they went through the mountains. That's really crazy. That's another, they're going to say, you know, don't take your camera out, but I'd lock up good with those chains, and now I'm starting taking pictures. I didn't care. So, and I didn't drop my phone. So it's a pretty cool place. All right, and then so that's the biggest thing coming up that we're doing. And of course, the next opportunity you're going to get to hang out on a trip like that is the contest that ends. So you've got like 7 more months to win the Mediterranean cruise. And then we come back, our big event, July 21st through 24th is here. It's going to rock. It's going to change lives. We're going to have, as important as changing other people's lives, we are going to have a blast. So I want to tell y'all this. Mike Hartley, right here, I just want to tell you that Mike is looking for people that that have extra tickets. How many do you need, Mike? Let me give you the mic here. I just want to make sure that, you know, if somebody has bought an extra ticket, Mike, how many would you like?
15.
15 tickets that he has in his organization. He would like to buy cash money on the barrelhead right there, dadgummit. Is this good?
This is good.
This is good. So would you like to make a plea? Like, I think it'll change my company.
You're going to change Andy's company, my lives, and other people's lives.
By giving you the tickets.
By giving me the tickets. For cash.
And you have people that are ready to take them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are they on the waiting list already?
Yes, sir.
So get your people on a waiting list. I would find out who controls the waiting list and see If someone else backs out, it's like, I ain't giving up my ticket, but I ain't going, like I guess a cat's sick or whatever, there's something going on, some problem in the family, some excuse, reason that they think is legitimate. And then that'll drop you down into the get their ticket category. Does that make sense? So you'll take 15.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what I said I'd do, so I did it. Okay, there's Mike. Thanks for coming up. He drove all the way up here from Tampa, Florida, just to say that to you guys. He might have had other reasons too, but that's what he told me. Okay. And then other big news for my travel, maybe not your travel, is on Monday morning I'm flying to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm doing a training session up there. We're starting like 12:30 to 5. I cannot wait. That's another time I get to talk to people, just sit and talk, meet so many people, understand that meeting that is just growing like crazy, some really good people there. So I can't wait to just ask you questions and just get to know you and do some training, game planning, more in-depth than I'll get to do today. And then we'll do the opportunity meeting that night. That next morning, we get up and fly to Denver, Colorado, do the same thing there. Training, I can't wait to go hang out with Colin and Marcus and some other great leaders there. I understand there's a lot of organizations that are starting to build in Denver. The next morning in Denver, we're going to get up and do the TWC at the private airport. Not everybody is invited because it's a small conference room, but in Denver, Colorado, that's the first thing I want you to talk to me about is who wants to go. Let's figure out a criteria, who gets to go. Obviously agency managers will check our numbers. Then I'll jump on a plane and fly to Rancho Cucamonga, California. Can't wait to hang out with that crowd. I don't think we can get started until like 3 o'clock in California. I think that's the deal. Yeah, I think that's the deal. I think we'll go. So we'll have a couple hours, about 3 to 5, and then we'll do the opportunity meeting that night. The next morning, we fly to Phoenix, Arizona. I can't wait. Phoenix, Arizona, all of Arizona has been blowing up, and I know there'll be people coming in from other cities. We're going to do a full training there from 12:30 to 5. Then we'll have a break. Then we'll do the opportunity meeting that night, show the plan that night. The next morning in Phoenix, early, I'm getting up, and we're going to do an activity call from Phoenix, from the FBO, from the private airport there. So let me know in Phoenix who's interested or who can go the next morning to kick off the activity call. So next week, and then I'm flying back home, which is a long flight from Phoenix to Burlington and we are on the Alliance Air. So we're taking our plane. So big investment there for we're calling it a West Coast swing. But guys, this is something we're talking about whale. This is something we'll talk about. This is stuff like this when I do this. Like when you told me this morning, Mike, when you said, I don't have to do this business. I was like, I don't have to either. And then you said, I'm 100% in. And I said, I'm 100% in. And you like, I could have retired. I said, I could have too. See, the way this works is when you do stuff that you don't have to do, that's called love. That's called sacrifice. That's called giving. You with me? And I want to come back to that too, because I want to talk about I love to do this, but now, let me tell you something. It's not like I don't love sitting on my deck every afternoon, just sitting out there watching a deer come around and dove and just enjoying the weather. I got a crazy beautiful deck, sitting up with my feet up, and chilling and grilling something. It's not like I don't love that. It's just I've got to make decisions, and I want to help. I want to make a difference. And so, because a lot of people say they want to, and then when you look at their do, it don't line up. You with me? So I'm gonna come back to that a little bit more, but I'm gonna say that's evidence right there, and I'm not complaining. I love it. I love it. I can't say I'm against it. I'm just saying hello. You got to. Your mind has to look through these types of things. Okay, so as a matter of fact, here we go. I want to. I think the best way that I can get into so you got our dates. Oh, by the way, the dates, all the details are on NAAhotspots.com. And so I just really drive people to that website a lot. If they want to know where Stephen Davies is going to be doing a meeting, where I'm going to do a meeting, they just go in there and do a search, and it tells you all the details. Or if you hire someone in Connecticut, and you're like, I don't know where they are in Connecticut, ask them for their zip code, plug in their zip code, and you find how close a hot spot is. Wherever it is. If it's Florida, you can find where the hot. It's very important that you learn how to use that website. I'm on it all the time when I'm recruiting and hiring people, like I will be this Saturday, by the way, from 8:30 to 12:30, I am going to be recruiting, doing GS3 dials. And, I think it's pretty cool because Eric Belair has now started booking appointments and letting people hear him book appointments. I've got some other people. Terry did his recruiting call. He got his guys. He's recruiting. So not everybody's listening to me. I don't care. We're trying to build a business. But if somebody's not doing anything, and then I know Scott told me, he said, Scott DeSharm, he says, I'm making sales and I'm listening to you in between on my appointments. I dial back in and listen to you. So what we're doing is we're working together. We're all teamwork. What do you need? Where are you hurting? Where do you need? We're going to serve. The team's going to be there to serve. Okay, so that's Saturday morning. Okay, here we go. Here's what I want to show you. This is, let's say I'm set up here. Let's say this is AA, and I'm hiring people everywhere around the country. And somehow you're falling. Where are you in the hierarchy? And you got to imagine that it don't matter where you are. And this has to do with the subject of two-faced people, how to be one-faced, not two-faced, and then how not to be tied into that, how to be congruent, or what is negative really. Okay, so or when two-faced, when you say you're helping, but are you really helping? Are you helping anybody besides yourself? You know what I mean? So there's helping, but is helping others. Our culture, our philosophy, what we have agreed on is that we're going to help each other. It's teamwork, which requires you to do stuff. Okay? Shocking, it's going to require you to not do things. So that decision of what to do and what not to do is huge. I was reading this morning on another subject. I'm not going to touch on this subject too much, but it was saying that things you have to hate. So like things you're not going to do, or things you ignore, or things you hate, and then there's things you love, and there's things you do, and there's things you react to. That whole decision process is what makes some people wealthier. Does that make sense? So because if you could be working just as hard as me in the wrong direction, doing the wrong things, but just as much energy, that's the wrong decision process is what to hate and what to love. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's say the organization is spread all out and somehow you fall right here. Okay? Now, I can put a lot more circles out here, a lot of worlds out here. What I want you to do, and think about this. And by the way, when I get into some serious talks like this, I always ask people, Chuck, I'll say, how does this sit with you in your tummy? Like does this make sense? Does this make common sense? Or am I going against your grain and going like, that just don't seem right? I really believe that people know. So we get into the you know. People know. All right? Sometimes they don't. But I go with people know. They can just feel it. So when you're listening to me and you say what you're saying, when I think about it, when I meditate on it, when I stay calm, it makes sense. I can't argue with it. And I do have people say, I'll be talking to people, go, I agree with that. Like one little thing I say, I agree with that. Like to indicate all the other things, I don't agree with you. And I go, guys, kind of calm down with I agree with you on that. Just listen to what I say. It's an overall principle. You don't get to just pick one thing and say you agree with it. Either you agree with the whole compassing, or maybe you need to move on to some other thinking. So here's what I want you to do. If this is you right here, I don't want you to judge this person. Or if there's a person right here, or a person right here, or your uncle, or your dad. I want you to be, gosh, this sounds negative, but it's not. I want you to be self-centered, okay? So, when somebody's not doing something, like if this person above you is not doing it, or this person below you, see how it just goes down, this person or this person, I don't want you to get in their face, okay? I don't want you to tap on their shoulder, and neither do I want you to have a in-depth conversation with this guy. And I have people that this person is wanting to sit down with this person. You with me? Or this person is wanting to go up and talk to this person and say things like, you're too dedicated, I'm questioning what you're doing, or maybe you're sacrificing your family. And what I would go to this person, I go, look, bro, if this is you trying to tell him how to run his life, what's up with that? If this is you, who this person right here is getting all kinds of good results and happy, what's your problem? Does that make sense? So this is a little bit of the ignoring part, like what to ignore. And it's tough. I have seen some stuff in the last 7 days that I want to react so bad to. Have you? Have you wanted to react to somebody? Like, so like right now I'm going to draw a line, or I'm going to talk to you guys, and somebody's going to want to say, hey, as a matter of fact, Terry right there with Tia, you might lean over to Tia and be like, I think he's talking about you. I suggest you go the ignore route, because in your head you're thinking, that's her. But I don't want you to go like, how about that? He got you pegged. You see what I'm saying? We're not going to do that. Okay. On the other hand, I do want you to think, does this apply to me? Because a lot of people do that. They go like, they'll be standing there and I'm firing stuff at them and they're just like it. They got it coming at them like this, and they go, direct hit, direct hit, direct hit, direct hit. So they see direct hits to people sitting around them, but they don't feel the direct hit there. So what I said, most people know, but sometimes people really, really, really don't know what negative is. They don't know what cynical is. And so somebody's got to tell me. Well, somebody's trying to tell you. Does that make sense? Okay, so I love it. I love it when people say, I got the message. The last show I did, an activity, when we had the Instant Thunder people in here, I said, I know some people are going to come up to me, and they're going to say, I know you was talking to me. And I go, I want you to do it, but I don't really want to hear it. Does that make sense? So how about we just don't even talk about it, you just make an adjustment. So I don't really want to make some people to change their whole life, but what I would like to see is a 2 or 3% improvement. Just a little bit of change. Like one buddy, I was talking to this guy, and here's the way it went. I'm talking to this dude right here. Okay? I'm talking to this dude. I'm over here chit-chatting with him. I'm chatting with him, and I said, some people talk down to their downline. You tracking on this? And he said, sometimes people don't know they're doing it. And I was like, really? So how are we going to do that? Jeff Bright had an idea. How about we let all your downline fill out a form on you and tell you how they see you? Oh, hey, no. Oh, hey, no. How about this? How about you fill a form out and you hand it to me and say, this is what people rate me on being negative. This is where people rate me on being sarcastic. This is where people rate me on loyalty. This is where people rate me on this one. How about this one? If this is you, do you treat people up here, nice, and down here like they're your worker bees? So one person told me that. They said, you know, with you, Andy, I'm real sensitive, and I watch myself. And I was like, by theory of elimination, they essentially said, I don't try to be careful with the people. If this is you, or if this is that person, I don't be careful with that person. And I'm going, you know, this is where you get the overrides from, right? You know I don't pay you, right? I mean, I just want to make sure they got it. You know what I mean? I just, like, you downline sales and you get money. Because you just wonder if they know that. You know, so my comeback came back with, what do they say? And they'll say things like, man, that's just the way I am. I've been like that all my life. That's who I am. That's my persona, the way I am. I'm aloof. I'm a sarcasm guy. And it's like, you know, what if they realize that that they're not happy if their business is given it this trajectory, okay? In other words, you want your trajectory to go up, right? But if it's going like that, what if maybe they realize to change, they need to change? So what if they could realize that they're doing it? Could they change and make an adjustment? If they realize they're doing it. Now, if they don't realize they're doing it, we got some more work to do. Kind of some inner review on ourselves. Okay? And I'm not kidding you. People change in the alliance. With time, with peer pressure, when they make decisions, sometimes information changes the situation. I've seen it happen more and more, but it doesn't happen with the wrong kind of people. With the right people, they make adjustments. And what I'm feeling in the alliance and what I'm seeing is a lot of people that feel like they want to change. And as these instant thunders, I have seen some of the sharpest people who are saying things like, I want to be a board member. I want to move up the level chart. I want to move up. I know I'm starting down here. I want to go all the way to the top, senior board, executive board member. And I'm going like I'm fired up. Because see, I understand that that's where I'll make my money. So I'm real nice to this guy. And I'm thinking about a couple of these young guys and a couple of young ladies in particular. And there's a couple of crazy, crazy young, sharp couples that I believe them when they say I want to change. And here's the thing. I got you. You want to change. This is you right here. And you want to change. Here's what I want to tell you. Don't try to change this guy. Don't try to change this one. Don't try to change this one. Don't try to change this one. Does that make sense? Don't. Now, change you. So if you made that decision that you want to blow it up. Oh, by the way, this is a husband-wife thing too. Because what I see sometimes is the husband thinks one way and the husband thinks another one. And the wife, and it goes both ways. I've seen it go both ways. The wife is just 8 steps, sell annuities, get referrals, do the hot spot in a different city, do it in a different city, recruit all over the country, read books, listen to audio. And the husband's like, I'm not reading a book. Or better, he says, I'm going to read, and then don't. And so then she wants to change this guy. And I'm going to go like, you can't. I know you want to. Okay? But what can you do? Here's what you can do for him, and here's what you can do for her, or he can do for you. You with me? Here's what you can do. You can make statements like, I'm going to read a little bit. But you can't go, I'm going to read a little bit. Have you noticed that? There's a big difference in that list, just a little difference. One of my buddies, I told him, I said, if I could take your head and just push it down just a little bit, because that little nose in the air is getting on my nerves. You with me? I don't like, see, I violated something right there because I done had to talk with somebody. You with me? And I walked away going like, you opened your big mouth. What is you thinking? Well, how are we going to tell them, Andy? How are we going to get them to do it if we don't get in their face? Think about it. How are we going to get them to do it? Did you notice that I didn't get anybody's face right then? So if they were on the TWC, we just told them to push their head down a little bit. But we got to get them to realize that their nose is up in the air. Right? It's tricky. How do we get them to see it? I know this. When I read books, I am usually reading them going like, Albright, you're a mess. What the heck is wrong with you? You with me? So one guy, so if now let's say they're not driving like that. They're not trying to find out what's wrong with them. I'm going to try to get to them again. I got a great text this morning. It said, what keeps you trying to improve? And I thought, I'm pretty sure I wrote it down, all the things that I thought. I texted him back. But here's, can I do it? I know what I said. I said, number one, I read my checkbook. And people say, well, you get fired up. Yeah, I got fired up because I can't afford to do the things I want. I can't take a G5 to California. I mean, you just can't imagine stuff I want to do with money. I mean, I can't. One of my buddies, I want to do a scholarship in his name. I want to endow it. I don't know how much it is. I know it's $300 or $400. I'd love to just stroke that check. So I get fired up about that. I can't believe I don't have it. I wrote that down. I look at the Rob report. That keeps me driving. I think about people that are hurting. So in other words, what I'm saying is, if there's something wrong with me, I'm trying to identify it. So, in other words, I'm driving to get better so I can help somebody else. So my question is, do you, as a person, try to improve because you care about other people? Do you realize that other people in relationships is like a massive assignment that you have here on earth? Here's the thing. I told him this. This is another thing I replied back. I said, I don't want a job as a sweeper in heaven. You with me? And that's a difficult one because some people don't believe that. I guess they don't believe in that they don't believe in eternity. So if that's you, I don't want to offend you. I just say focus on the other stuff that I'm giving you. But I wanted more and more responsibility. More and more responsibility, not less responsibility. I wanted, because responsibility usually means you have bigger territories, bigger obstacles, bigger challenges, which means you're going up, because good stuff is uphill. Being easy is downhill. Being easy is downhill, and that's not where the good stuff is. So it's going up that I'm shooting for. I have wife and kids and consultants that are crystal clear that I'm not perfect. That gets me to push harder because I'm trying to get better. Now, if your spouse looks at you and says, you're perfect, the only thing I want you to do is look them in the eyes and think, are they saying I'm perfect because they believe I'm perfect? Or are they saying it because they know it's going to upset you if they don't tell you you're perfect? You with me? Does that make sense? You say, well, they told me I'm perfect, so I'm perfect. Really? How about if they told you you're perfect because they didn't want you to get mad? Aha! Now, what if your spouse says, you're close to perfect, but I've got 9 things that I think you could improve on. Okay? You need to improve your listening skills. You need to quit snoring. You need to take the trash out. There's several things you need to do. You with me? What's the 9 things? If they give you 9 things, but they say there's 460 good things about you, but 9 things you improve. Well, with me, if I improve one of the 9 or 12, whatever Jane's list is, a lot of times one of the other 480 gets out of my good things I lose control of. So when a guy asks me what keeps me driving, all that. Does that make sense? I want to get better. I don't want to stay the same. So what gives you the inner drive? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I hated being broke. I hated not having tickets to stuff. I hated not being friends with the governor. Like, I hate not being friends with the governor now. Like, I'm not friends with him. I'm friends with the attorney general, but not the governor. And I'm thinking, it'd be cool if I was, and he said, why do you want to be friends with him? I just think it'd be cool. Does that make sense? Like, I was texting back and forth with the basketball coach at NC State this morning. I like that. What do you like to do? So here's the cool thing. I'm texting with my son, and I'm texting with the coach at NC State. Both of them. Well, my son loves me, and he sees how hard I work and that I give to other people. He also sees that this guy's asking me questions, the coach. So he's like a hero, like a big superstar on TV. He's asking me questions, and I can show him. I go, check that question right there. So I'm hoping that my son's going, that's my daddy right there. Does that make sense? So it's a drive, because here's another thing. I don't want my kid to go like, okay, well, I got this good job, and I know my daddy flatlined once he reached his comfort zone, so once I reach my comfort zone, I'm going to flatline too. I want to see this young'un be all he can be. I do. I want him. Now, if he reaches his comfort zone, okay, so if this was me and this was my son and he reaches his comfort zone, I'm going to try my best, because I ain't perfect. Because like that guy that I want his head to come down, I really wish I hadn't done it. I wish I'd have wait till he figured it out. But Andy, it takes so long for people to figure it out. No, it don't. Especially if they already know. Or how about this? What if they don't know? What if they just watch people that are having people come around them and respect them, and they notice that their head height is a little different? It's called copy. So they could change just like it. So what I've seen is some people that want to move up, Mike, change just like that. Just like that, Mark. Just bam. Everything. Everything. This is so simple, but so massive. So my kid, so Haley, my daughter, could change just like that. Her boyfriend, Brandon, could change just like that. All you gotta do is copy. Do I want them to? Yeah. Am I going to scream at them? No. But can they watch this show? Yeah. Just like anybody else can. Or when I'm hunting with him, I could be talking about how I wish people would do this, wish people would do that, and I cover stuff that's not him. And some of the things are him, but I'm not attacking him. I'm just talking about what I've read in the book. Does that make sense? So like when you're in front of a meeting. You tracking on all this, Mike? You moving through this? Okay. All right. I want to look at this because I want to make sure I got some stuff covered. All right. I'm nice to Andy. I care about Andy. And, I mean, I'm appreciative of that. I'm just still thinking, gosh, you know, all those people you hired. I don't know how people do the tone. Like, I try my best to say, I heard a person say this. Wait right there, I'll be with you in a minute. And when I say it, I don't think it sounds so bad because, first of all, I add words. I'll be like, hey, listen, man. I drop a lot lower. Hey, listen, man, I'm going to be with you in just 1 second. I'm sorry, I love you, I'll be right with you. But I hear people say it, and I can't imitate. They have this rhythm of wait until, they say, wait, I'll be with you in a minute. But the way they say it, it hurts me. I'm like, what? Is that like a puppy dog you were just talking to? You know what I mean? Like they have a tone about them. And I'm not going to try to keep working until I can copy them. But those people that have that down tone to people, if they would just copy, like when the way Tim Goad says it, when he says, hold on, I'll be with you 1 second, or I'm with you, let me finish filling this out. Just if you could copy that tone quickly, you wouldn't sound so mean. And here, everybody thinks that sarcasm that's funny is okay. And like I could just go, Terry, and say something mean about you and say, you know I'm just kidding with you, don't you? Or I could say something mean and go on about it and laugh. And then later when you come to me, I could say, you know I was kidding, right? And then you say, well, how would I know you kidding? I said, well, the way me and Mike were laughing, that'll tell you I was joking. You know I love you, right? But why did I have to, or how about if I don't give you credit, Mark, like for your business, you know you got a wide growing business and you're a district manager and somebody says something, if Terry says something like, he's really doing good, and then I go, yeah, and I explain your success away. I explain your success away, and I laugh, and he laughs, and we walk away. And then you come up to me later on, and you go, hey, Bo, you know that crack you made about that I didn't have to work to get it? And I go, oh, yeah, we was joking about that? It don't take it away, does it? This is such simple stuff. So what you could do if I say, oh, but he's DM, he's district manager, he's got Y, you'd be like, that's my friend right there. I love Mark Marcellus. I thought of a way to tell you how to do this. I'm going to try it, okay? Because people don't know what's negative and what's not negative. So if this is you, and you're in a situation where there's other people around, I'm not sure if they're downline from you, if they're upline, if they're crossline, in a different hierarchy. I'm just saying there's people. And you get to open your mouth. There's a momentary little bit of silence and you get to say something. Is it negative or not? Because people, you think they know. Because I said this. I was talking to one of the guys that coaches me, and I said, you know they know it's negative. He said they might not. I was like, how can they not know that's being negative? So I came up with it. It ties into another training I did a while back, and it went like this. It said, if you've got something to do physically, is it the most important thing you got? Is it B, which is pretty important? Is it C, which that's something that needs to be done. That needs to be done right there. Was it D, something that can be delegated to somebody else to do? Or was it E, that needed to be eliminated? And you say, well, I don't know if it's negative or not. Let me ask you this. If you get a chance to say something, is it the most positive and productive thing that you can say? Because if it's A and this most positive and productive thing you can be talking about, then it's not negative. I don't know, did that work? So people come up to me and they go like, God knows, man, this weather. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you whether it's negative because you are accurate in your assessment. Because people feel like if they're accurate, then they feel like they're not being negative. They say things like, I'm accurate in my assessment of the situation, and I'm going like, I don't think that's an A of all the things we could be discussing right now. And here's what people say, but the negative has to be covered. And I go, right now? It's right now this the most positive and interesting thing you got to say now. Okay, so I'm evaluating me right now going, Albright, you're covering negativity. Is that being negative? And I'm going like this, watch this. To be clear what my conversation is about. My conversation is about a lot of people like this one and this one. And I'm saying, stay like you are, don't become like him. Don't become like him. Because we're starting to find these people who want to go board member. And I am telling you, moving up our levels, becoming EVP with us is easy and simple. But when you add negative, when you add criticism, when you add buttholeness, you with me? Just being a jerk, it discourages people. Let me give you an example. If everybody in the country is wanting to bring people up you and meet you, you with me? But if people go like, do I need to talk to them? Does that make sense? There's your clue. In other words, people don't want to be around people they don't want to be around. People don't want to be around negative. It don't turn everybody off, by the way. It does not turn everybody off. But the ones that know about it and the ones that see it, you can only take so much. It's like pain. You're like, ow, ow, ow. You know, no, not so much pain or so much annoyance. Guy's talking to me about one of his superiors was riding in the car without the seatbelt on. You know how it goes, ding, ding, ding. And all the guy, you know, at least what he could do is buckle it behind his back, right? So he said the guy pulled over to get a drink, and when he went in the store, he said he buckled his seatbelt for him. And so when the guy got back to the car, he sat down on it, and it quit dinging, right? Because he said, you know, I was about to go crazy. They were on a long trip, and the guy's riding down the road, and they're talking, you know, and he's like, God, his seat's uncomfortable. It was no problem for him. And he's like, who buckled this seat? And he said he just broke. He broke on the guy. You know, he was like, you shooting me crazy? You And he said he was always respectful. Always respectful. But he's like, this is too much. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, ding, ding, y'all okay with me? I go, ding, ding, y'all okay with me? But ding, 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 ding. It's like, woo! Your little bit of negative is driving me bats. You see what I'm saying? People are not going to want to be around it. So when you're talking down to people or superior or sarcastic, and a lot of people don't even like it when you cut anybody else down. It's tough. I'm not saying I've never done it. I'm saying I know that when I do it, I go, Does that make sense? Yeah. This is big, simple stuff. People say, why is this person here sarcastic? Let me tell you something. Pride is powerful. So is jealousy. And people that think, it's funny how some people work their butt off to get somewhere, and then it's because they're smart, it's how they got there. Like, bro, remember how you worked? And if they just told you how they worked, you'd love them for it. But when they tell you they're superior than you, you say, and here's what the superior than thou guy says, I got there because I'm genius. See, I didn't get there because of the way I worked. And I'm like, dude, really? Because when you see people start making the money, even a basketball player or a football player, now they got God-given talent. You got to give them credit, right? But I don't I mean, like I went to the textile school. I remember, like, I got problems. In other words, it's the do that got me here. There's no doubt about it. It's just the do. It's not my slickness. Now, but you're a genius the way you schedule things. And I go, what? The way I put things on the calendar? Oh, one of the funniest, and I was so fired up. This is a lady who's starting to blow this thing up. And she texted me and she said, who the heck put a 7:30 appointment on my calendar? And I was like, I read it and I was like, that sounds like something I would say. So I was like, at first I was like, who's been messing with her calendar? And then I was like, I wonder if she did it. And then I went, those are my words. Because I did that yesterday morning. I was like, who the heck put workout at 7 a.m.? When I was out late the night before, and I was like, and then I was like, it was me. So then I got mad at myself. So I'm walking around going, who the heck did I do that? I do that to Amber sometimes. I'll be like, who the heck put back-to-back appointments for 4 hours? I ain't got time to go to the bathroom. And she just looks at me because she don't want to look at me and go, you did, fool. But so you think I'm a genius because I scheduled that. I'm mad at myself when I schedule it. But this lady has started scheduling stuff, so she's jammed up. And I don't know if this part's good, but I like that she's complaining about it to herself. You say, why do you like it? I don't know. I like it. But I'm complaining to me. I'm not nobody else. I go like, who did that? When I know I'm the one that did it. Does that make sense? So I'm starting to get a lot of this from people. Now, one of the things is, like, this could be considered negative. I hate all the paperwork. I hate this. I hate the paperwork. I don't want to call up there to the carriers. I hate getting the stuff ready. Okay, so you know what I did? I hired a secretary. Immediately, people say, when? Day one. I didn't have no money. So now what I've got is I've got brand new people who have no money hiring a secretary. How are they paying for them? Selling an insurance policy. I thought you said they didn't have money. They didn't before they sold an insurance policy. But then they got money all of a sudden, and then what they're saying is, Andy, this is life-changing. I'm like, I remember when I hired a secretary. So then they're saying to me things like, it's tough to manage people. And I go, yeah, I know. You got to learn how to do that. Let me tell you, read something. So they're copying faster and faster and faster and faster, which explains why our volume is going up. Explains why our bonuses are going up. I shot Jeremy Patton. This is a 6th month in a row. He's got an agency manager bonus, and I noticed the trend going up like that. And I texted him. I said, bro, we're talking, you could be making $25,000, $30,000. Yeah. Who else was it? Balick got his first one. Yeah, Lardy got his first one, and I saw how much Minerv's bonus. Okay, so I'm texting, I'm going like, guys, this is getting good. So what I see is the company doubling and tripling in the next 6 months to a year, and I see now watch this. I see some people going 10%. I see some people going 500%. And I don't know if you know how to work averages, but if you've got a small group that's only like writing maybe 2,000 or 3,000 a month and going up to like 20,000 a month, okay? So, and then you've got a group that's 100,000 and it maybe moves up 105. They didn't double, but the group went from 2 to 20. Does that make sense? If you have enough 2 to 20s, the big numbers go up too. Does that make sense? So mathematically, I see doubling and tripling. And I don't want to slow anybody down. It's like, Andy, you don't understand. I'm going to go from 5,000 a month to 100,000 a month. What do you think about that? I go, that's 200, that's, 20x growth? Who say, can that happen? Are you saying the company's going to go up only 3 times and I'm going to go up 20 times? Is this going to slow me down? No, I expect you to grow 20 times because you're going to pull up the slow growers. So the ones that are only up 10 or 15% and ecstatic about it, and you're up 2,000%, you're going to pull theirs up a little bit. I'm okay with that. Does that make sense? And it's from people listening to this stuff going like, I'm just going to hire people and be nice. Now, by the way, here's what's going to happen. What you're going to do is you're going to hire all these people and someone is going to line up with you. And I've got a couple of organizations that this is the way it looks. They're starting to be, this guy is a check and this guy is a check. Meaning 100% nice, 100% nice, and I'm calling them like a tag team. The more we start pulling these networks where there's one guy, now, this one I'm thinking about, one of them looks like this. There's a guy, and there's a person, and then there's a guy, okay? And it's check, check, and both of them are being super nice, not critical to this one. They high-five them. They're loving on them. They say, hey, they embrace them. They're not pushing them to do anything. But these two are blowing up. You with me? And you say, how do you know if that's you? Well, are you blowing up? Did you just put in 20 people in class? Is 4 of them direct to you and the other 16 are spread out among the 4 people? Did you just get 2 people out of class that just wrote their first policy? Did you have a guy just buy his first set of leads and he bought $400 worth of leads? You with me? In other words, can you not look at your group? Can you look at it and draw it out and tell me, is it blowing up? If it's not blowing up, then you're not that check and you're not that check. Does that make sense? Now, you get an organization like person, check. So now it goes to here, and this one's here, this one's a check, and this one's a check. Well, let me tell you something. When it gets crazy, is now you get another person, and then you get another check over here. So essentially, you get check, 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 team builder of checks. You with me? In other words, now you're a compadre. You're a tag team network of, you can. That's why we do these Instant Thunders, and that's also why I introduced people so they can meet some other guy or another girl, and they go like, so she's a check. Oh, yes. Why? Blowing up, nice, never whining about the history, never whining about the future, buying A leads, A1, DLP, internet, finally, well, just give me a lead, man, I'm wide open, I got a 3A, Eric Belair made $1 million annuity sale on a $3 lead, I'm going to every door, I love it, I love life, I'm excited. That's what I'm talking about. Not a person who goes picky, picky, choosy, choosy, picky, picky. You with me? I like everything about you, Andy. There's a couple little things I'd like to talk to you about. Oh, gosh. I'm like, oh, gosh. I thought you were heading in the right direction. Does this make sense? And people go like, how do you survive when you look out there and you see so many that are not? I find, Mike, I get fired up about the ones that are, Bo. That's the ones I think about and I talk about. I would say a few years back, James, I was trying to change the ones that wouldn't change. And I would talk to my counselors, I would pray for them, I'd read books, and I'd go like, yep, he's messing up here, and he's a bad person, and I'm going to change him, I'm going to threaten him, I'm going to have a word. And I came down there with them. Does that make sense? And it just, I don't know, I had been like this in the past, it came back. It came back to me. Now, if you've never been like this, we want to get you there. I'd been there before I think that's how I got to a level that I had, is I had that attitude, and then I got the negative attitude, and then I tried to get it back. And I ain't saying I'm perfect at it yet, but I am working my butt off at not talking about you, Mr. 86%. I love you, but I'm not going to be mean to you. You say, what do you mean? I will love you, but I'm not going to be mean. See, before, when I loved people that were bad, I used my love as a way to beat on them because I said I love you. That's not good. I know I do love them, but me loving and being mean to the person who chooses not to cooperate, they're choosing not to be cooperative. And I know they probably miss the love. Does that make sense? I know they miss the love, but I can't be brutal. I'm going to go to the A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this guy who is full speed, 100% loyal, positive, 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 hiring, getting referrals. I'm finding them. I've never been more excited about them in my life, Terry. I am telling you, it's so much more fun to be going after them than try to beat up somebody that's not interested in what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Oh, how does this person not get cynical? I know this person hurt you, that person hurt Lee, and mom and dad and all that. Here's what I told one person. They go like, I just want to quit them. I want to move. And I go like, look, take all that and transmute it and say, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hire, I'm going to work, I'm going to take that energy that I want to fight, and I'm going to pour it into doing what I'm supposed to do. That's what I told them to do. I took the phone call. I knew it was going to be negative, and I said, look, I hear you. Will you take all of that you're telling me and grow like crazy? And they were so fired up. I hope it lasts. I hope it takes. Because that's what they got to do. They got to move it from being mad at a spouse, being mad at an upline, being mad at a daddy or a mother or uncle, and turn it into energy. Take that fuel and turn it into energy to go after something. I don't know. I'm not a genius on psychological warfare and messing your mind up. I'm just saying move it. It's not your job to fix everybody. I want to change. How can I help my upline? I know he's a negative, and I know be nice to him. How about my downline? He's yakety yak 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 yak. I go, just be nice to him, but he's affecting somebody else. Well, take to somebody else and say, because you don't have to take every phone call. You don't have to eat dinner with them. And then if they're sitting there, ask them questions like, hey, where'd you get that shirt? Hey, ain't it cool how just talk real extra positive around them. But don't beat them up. And it's funny, when I go to meetings, there's somebody in the room like that, and everybody wants me to kick them out or just fire them, and I'm like, This makes sense? You just got to move on. Okay, rise above it. Hey, somebody told me this, and I've heard it so many times, that eagles use the wind coming back at them, the storm, to rise up. Yeah. Right. That's right. So you take this negative stuff and put yourself in a position of, this is going to be my ladder. This is going to be the wind in my face. This is that storm coming at me, and I'm going to spread my wings, and I'm going to go up, up, up. And now, you're not going to always be perfect at it. You're going to crash. You're going to react. I want to tell you you're going to be perfect at it, Gomez, but it's just got to, you with me? So your president, I'm talking to him, he's at High Point University. President, the guy that runs the college is Nito. And Nito just had something crazy happen. I can tell you about it, or I can just skip the negative part and say, it's ugly. It's ugly at the university. Here's what he's going to do. He's going to take that and deal with it. He's not going to drop down in the mud and cry. He's going to I guarantee you, I can't wait to ask him. I said, tell me how you're dealing with it. And I'm going to listen to how he, because see, if the wind, like I don't know sailing, like if you're a wind, like when the wind's coming at you, I don't know how you sail. Like if you're on a sailboat, they say even if wind's coming at you, you can still get there. And I was like, and it's something about setting the sails at an angle, and then you come back at this. I don't know how they do it, but they're tricky the way they do it. Nito is the same way. He's tricky because this stuff's negatives coming at him. He's going to set his sails differently so he can get up above it. Does that make sense? And he's got people that coach him, and he's reading these books, and he's teaching stuff. So it's what you got to figure out how you going to get up in the air. How was the wind coming at you? But what you can't do is say, when this wind changes, or when my upline changes, and I got to tell you that. I mean, I got to tell you, because this is one of my buddies. He said, I've had it. I've had it. I'm having that serious conversation with my dad. And he texted me, and I said, and I'm so busy this morning. I said, I'm going to call him. I left him a long message, and I said, bro, here's what I'm going to tell you. Just do what you're going to do. Because your dad is 100% for you. So this guy right here, if he has any intelligence whatsoever, he's making override. I don't care where you are in this group. He's 100% for you. He does not have bad intentions. You don't need to start screaming to dad, because your dad, I promise you, my mother, oh, I know she wants me to do good. I know she wants to be happy with my children. I know it's all positive. I think it's jacked up the way she goes about it. I don't even want to talk. I gotta do what I gotta do and be super nice. With notes, with cards, with fruit, with flowers. I gotta stop by there. I gotta call her. I gotta do what I gotta do. But I don't have to sit there for 3 hours. I don't have to. That's not, you say, well, if she needs quality time. Yeah, I'm going to give her quality time. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 15 minutes. Drive her somewhere when we're at the family get-together. You know, but I don't have to just, I ain't watching TV with her. Does that make sense? I'm going to sit there. And I know that I can't give her a book and say, here, read this, and let me tell you why you're wrong and I'm right. This is why you're wrong and I'm right. And this is the way I'm going to run my life. And then go, because now what you're going to get is rebuttal. And the rebuttal is not going to be, aha, I've been wrong all my life, son. You're not going to get that. They're going to give you stuff that will plant seeds of doubt in your theory. So you got a theory. Based on what you read in Proverbs. You got a theory based on what I've been saying. You got a theory based on what your wife's been saying, which I agree with what she's saying. And then this guy or this guy or this guy. And I'm going like, I don't know what other kind of alignment. You know the answer. Why do you got to have everybody's approval? You don't need everybody's approval. You got enough. You got enough approval. Let's go. You can't get 100% of the people to agree with you, brah, or ma'am, your husband, your wife, your daddy. You can't. And just if you could avoid that confrontation, you don't have to. Oh, now, you said I need to be an edifier. So you're one of these, I need to edify. Let me tell you what to edify. Edify properly. What are they doing right? You could say things like, I really like your shoes, if they got on nice shoes. Does that make sense? Yeah. But when you say, this is the greatest guy in the company, and this guy skips meetings for no reason whatsoever, and you tell somebody that he's the greatest guy. You say, what could I say about him? Because he's the snazziest dresser, and I love him. You could say that. You could say, she's the best. She is in the top 10 sales ladies in the whole country. That's right. And now, so what if she gets offended and goes like, you didn't say anything about my recruiting skills? And you go like, I mean, well, you hadn't recruited anybody lately. She's not going to point out her deficiencies. But when I'm talking about somebody, Terry, when I'm talking about Terry, or Terry, when I'm talking about Terry, I'm going to edify what's edifiable. I'm not going, see, that way people aren't confused. I call it English, Mark. When it's the way people talk, and I can tell, like Balak's become clearer in his speech. James Hill has been just improving. Paul Menachino improving, meaning they don't mislead me. I hired a new guy, and he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. And I say, "Do you sign up for convention?" No, he didn't do that because he'd have to get on the waiting list. I'm like, "You said, don't you remember when I said people should get on the waiting list?" He's like, "Yeah, I know you said that, but he ain't gonna get in." I go like, or I say, has he finished the class? Nope, he's been taking it. He's been in it for 8 weeks, and he is so committed. He comes to every hot spot, and I'm like, how is he taking 8? I mean, I don't want to put him down, but in the beginning you told me he was doing everything he was supposed to, and now as I peel the layers of the onion back, I'm found out he's taken forever to get through the class. He hasn't put anybody in class. He hasn't sold anything. He hasn't bought a ticket leadership. I just want to say, what has he done? But I don't want to do that, right? Because I don't. So if you would help say the right things, like this guy is selling. This guy has given me a list of names. He bought a leadership ticket, and he's a good young. He's sharp. His wife comes to meetings with him. Got it. But when they go like, he really wants it so bad. Like, really? No, you see what I'm saying? In other words, it's not factual. He don't want it so bad. Yes, he does. And you go like, you can't argue whether he wants it or not. And I go, never mind. I'm not arguing with you about it. Because I'm watching the do. So if you can tell me about the do and report it to me as what the do is, that makes more sense. Does that make sense? And Terry, I've seen people that will criticize somebody down in here. The guy's doing probably 13, 14 things right, or 26 things right, but there's 1 or 2 things, and they want to talk about the 1 or 2 things the whole time. In other words, this guy wants to talk about his, and I'm like, dude, chill. You with me? Now, if you say, but if he did that one more thing, he'd blow up. I go, okay, let's mention it to him. And so we mention it to him. If you don't do it, let's talk about the 13 things that he's killing it with. Let's talk about the loyalty of this guy. Let's talk about that. And see, that's what confuses people, because I tell them, I go like, I could go like this. I love you, Terry, Tia. Y'all love that couple. And then people go like, so that means they're perfect. No, I don't mean they're perfect. When I say I stand up here and I tell you how to do all this stuff, I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. I'm not. Matter of fact, I'm going like, you have no idea. I know the stuff I'm a mess on, right? I know when I touch the man's head down. I know when I call a person out and I go like, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Or a text and I go, oh, God, right? So just when I say, I get Mike up here and I had Mike with the mic and he's telling everybody he wants 15 tickets. Okay? That don't mean that I'm saying everything that Mike's doing right. Let me tell you what the most massive thing we can say good about somebody is, no matter where you are, anybody else, and this goes for you too, are you trying to change everything a little bitty bit?
That's right. That's right.
So, I got this lady, she's working on her calendar. Bo, make me smile. I mean, she's trying. It is terrible. But you know what? Next week, she's going to try to plan it better. She's going to try to get it down to the half a day, and then maybe down to the every 2 hours, then maybe down to the hour. That's good stuff right there. You tell me somebody, but you tell them somebody that goes like, no. Come on, man. Okay, whatever. All right, cool. I love you, loyalty. Love you, loyalty. That's what I just say. Love you, loyalty. Does that make sense? They're not willing to change, but I love their loyalty. But if I can tell you a person is changing, they're trying to sell better, they're trying to recruit more, they're trying to be a better team player, they're trying to sacrifice. If they're trying, I'm in love. Does that make sense? That effort. People say, but if they're trying and not really, if they're not doing the do, but they're trying. I'm talking about if they're making incremental improvements. Just one. You know what I mean? Like a little kid stands up and he just stands up and falls back down. Did you see him trying to stand up? He almost had it. That's the way I am. Like he almost had it. He almost had it. He almost booked an appointment. Like when when people would answer the phone, you'd hang up on them. I go, look at the way she got him on the line. She didn't want to hang up on him. I could see that she wanted to talk to him. Right? So it's just, if I can see incremental, but do you remember what I said in the beginning? I ain't expecting everybody to do this. But by God, Sean, just a little bit. Go, man, just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, Terry, just sneak in, and I go like, yeah! And that's the way we all got to be. How about the person that talks all the time in the meetings? Okay? People say, you ought to fire her. You ought to get rid of him. You ought to say something to him. What y'all need to do is pat him on the back when he has a good meeting or she has a good meeting and she don't do anything crazy. Be like, dude, that's a good meeting today. I mean, I ought to have about 15 people like, you did good today. And then here's what they're going to say. I do what I always do. You go like, yeah? You do what you ought. You did. That's a good meeting. I don't care what you say. That's a good meeting. Does that make sense? We got to encourage them. Or when they get there 5 minutes early and they've been 30 minutes late, we go like, look here, man. We so appreciate you coming in early. Like it just makes everybody more of a team. Every good thing, we got to scream about it. How about the person now that's going to come up to you and go like, I did some good stuff today and I didn't get up. You didn't get me up front. And you guys say, we'll get you up. We'll get you up. We'll get you up. We'll do it. Just go along with people. Does that make sense? It's a whole lot easier to move along and get along when we just go along. Just kind of go along. We've got to learn so many things we got to ignore and not get upset about it. All right, what I said about well, and that's right. Do we have people that say, well, and then they turn around and do the exact opposite of what we've been talking? Yeah, we do. Do we have people say, that's right, and then they do it? Yeah. What do we do about it? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Everybody's trying their best. If they're trying, though, we are going to see incremental improvements in their personality, in the way they treat other people. We're going to see it. I had one guy ask me, like, how fast can it happen? I went, like that. I've seen it in some people. I've seen people that 99.9% of the time I saw them, they were frowning. And now I see them, and it's 99% of the time, almost 100% switch, they're smiling. How's that possible? Some people say only through God. Some people say through association, peer pressure. I just say they probably wanted to, and couldn't nobody stop them. So it can happen just like that. We had a guy a little over, I'm going to tell his name, but just a couple over 4 years ago, he just said, I'm going to quit drinking so much that I run naked through the streets. You know what I mean? He just said, I'm going to stop because I know I done got in too many arguments, too many fights, I'm just going to stop. I'm like, just like that he stopped. I was talking to a young lady that did some drug, I forget what it was, but I never heard anybody stop that one. I was like, I didn't even know you could stop that one. She's like, I stopped it. And I was like, well, you're answering questions good. You seem intelligent and smart, and you got, things are going good. Congratulations. Like 2 years ago. I was like, I didn't know you could stop that. Now, she said, now this area I need to improve on, this area I need to improve on, and this area I need to improve on. And I was like, yeah, I'm with you. You do. I agree with you. Way to go. Are you going to try? Yeah, I'm going to try in those areas. I was like, wow. Because if she made that big of a change like that, these little changes, listen to me, should be easy. No. Because a lot of times if it's a blatant, like if you spill a big mess, everybody would jump down and clean that up. But a lot of people, they drop a little piece of paper, a little piece of lint, they don't pick it up. So she's going to have to fight hard to remember even this little stuff she needs to keep getting better at. Is this making sense to you?
Yeah.
This is big. Oh, living selfishness. Selfishness. Like I want to do nothing. I want to get paid. I want to reap the fruit, but I don't want to plow the ground. That's selfishness. That's born out of a lie. It's born out of fear. It's not faith. We're looking for people that have faith, people that are go out. Also, that ties into transparency. People like transparency. People trust transparency. When you're saying one thing and doing another, people don't like that. This all has to do with what looks like two-faced, lying. They address stuff. Wow. You do not have to acknowledge the weather. If a person tells you negative, you don't have to rebut. You can go, okay, and walk away. But Andy, I've got to. I feel it. And I know the same feeling. Remember, people I love that I want to change? But I got to go, that's not A. Like they need to be changed, but that's not A. And people say, if you never change him, how's your company going to blow up? If she don't get better, how is your company going to blow up? And the answer is the people that come in to the business and go, I want it all. That'll change it. Say, but won't he dishearten them? Won't he discourage them? Not if they keep their eyes up. Not if they worry about self-centered, like they worry about them. Not if they adopt our culture. If he starts attacking the culture and it starts affecting people, or if she does that, it'd be a problem. You with me? And maybe 5, 6 of us can chat with them and say, hey, come here, we're gonna brainstorm this out. Like, what have we ever heard anything negative? I've done that in meetings that people say, well, can you help us with negativity? And I go, all right, what do we hate? And we went around and people raise their hand. I go, I hate this. I go, by the way, we're not talking about any of that in this room. Everybody, we agree not to talk about any in this room. We say, what have you hated in high school? I hate it when people think they're better than me. Hate it when people, they raise their hand for every question. And we just run around. I hate it when people are late. I hate it when people make clicking noises in me. And we just talk about all the stuff we hate. And then we said, all right, we agree that nobody in here does it, and everybody agrees. And by that way, that meeting has transformed from one of the worst meetings. We just got it out in open, things that we hated, and nobody was talking about anybody in the room. There's ways to do it. He said, but y'all just went negative. We was like, no, things we hate, things we hate. You with me? We didn't go on and on about them. We just listed them, and we just said we ain't going to be like that. And some people took it to heart. It was an awesome meeting. Some people do think being nice is a weakness. That's why they're two-faced. That's why they're negative, because they feel like if they're negative, they feel like that means they're strong. Only weak people are nice. It's not entirely, it's not even close to true. It's not tied in together. I did say, why do we want a happier, fun meeting? And I talk about all the benefits. And then somebody says, why don't we change this? And it's something like meeting start at 7 o'clock. And I say they get kicked off at 3 minutes after 7. We say they start at 7. Tell people to get there at 6:45, leave at 7, leave at 3 minutes after. Now, after that, you can wear black shoes, brown shoes, orange shoes. You with me? There's a lot of things you can be creative with, but not changing other stuff. People say, why? I go, well, you know what? Let me tell you the consequences. So I'll go over the consequences from 8 different perspectives. And 99.99% of the time, people go like, oh, I got it. That makes sense now. I go, okay, let's roll. We're all good. But I don't say, none of your business, shut up, don't want to hear your idea. Okay? Does that make sense? I don't freak out about it. I don't need you freaking out about it. Oh, how about this one? I think this is pretty cool. You ever hear this? I hear some people teach this. You ever hear this scenario? Keep doing what you're doing. All right, I'm not so big on that. How about this? Have you seen or heard this scenario? I just have to get out there and do it. So somebody says, I just have to get out there and do it. Here's my question. Have you tried that before? Have you tried to just get out there and do it? And the answer usually comes back, yeah, that's what I tried to do. How'd that work out for you? Not so good. Because you're telling the person, don't change anything, just keep doing what you're doing. At some point, you need to work on your empathy, you need to work on your honesty, you need to work on your ability to keep commitments, you need to work on your ability to build relationships. So those things you learn, just keep doing what you're doing, ain't going to get it. This matters. Knowing what you want and wanting it, just getting out there and do it's not enough. Doing the right things for the right times in the right places without anybody telling you to do it. That'll work. That'll work. That will work. This ain't going to work. This ain't going to work. Things that you need to delegate, doing those, that's not doing the right things at the right time. That's doing things that should have been delegated. Doing things that should have been eliminated. And I see people do this to their downline. They do things that they should not be doing. Like, you shouldn't do that to him. You shouldn't do that to her. But I go like, am I going to ignore it? And I just go, I can't. I just got to go on. I just got to go on. I see it. I want to scream at them, but that is not going to help me. I got to do this. The right thing, right person, right time, without somebody telling me. I can't. All right, now. By the way, people ask me this, like, what are you looking for, anybody? In a person, what are you looking for? A person will do the right thing, the right time, the right way, without somebody having to scream at them. That's what I'm looking for. How simple is that? That's what I'm looking for, that person right there. Not many people like that. That's what I'm looking for them. I'm telling you, those people are going to change our world. All right, here's where it comes down to. Here's real quick questions for you. Do you really want to do it? Are you willing to pay the price? Do you have strength to do it? Will you accept responsibility for growth, your own personal growth? Are you settling for mediocrity? Have you reached a comfort zone? Is that the deal? Am I believing in others? Am I blaming others? Am I setting and achieving goals? Are you setting and achieving goals? This is huge. Like, if nothing's changed and you're not shocked, if nothing changed and you're okay, if nothing's changed and you're not mad, if things are changing, you're fired up, okay. All right. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to wrap up with this right here. Everybody dies, not everybody lives. In the end, what people don't want to do is look back and say, I never went for it. I never risked. I never loved. I never ran. I never went. It's what people, and this is all kinds of psychiatric studies and where they're interviewing people, they talk about what they didn't try. They didn't go. Rarely is it, I hate I hired that secretary at that time. I hate I I bought $1,000 worth of leads one time. I hate I left home for 3 weeks, tried to sell. No, it's more like I hate I didn't try something. I hate I didn't meet people. I hate I didn't go for it. It's the lack of action that people look back at. And Andy, you deal with this? Oh yeah, because sometimes I go like, I don't want to do it. And then I go, oh, that's right. I'm going to look back and say, why didn't you? Why didn't you go for it? That's gotten me into more predicaments. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? This will get you in a predicament. Because I'll be like, I'm going to hate I didn't do it. I'm going to hate I didn't do it. Then I do it, and I create life, Jane. I create life. What is life? That's when things don't go. Like I did it, and then it didn't go like I thought it would, and I get mad. And I go, why'd you do it? And then that is going to tempt me the next time something comes up not to do it. And then I remember how exciting it was when I went. Like this deal, I'm going to California and in Minnesota. I'm telling you, it's not going to go perfect. And when I had to get up early one morning to do one of the meetings, I had to get up extremely early. I think I had to get up, I'm with y'all, California. I had to get up at like 6 a.m. to do an activity call or something like that. I know I'm going to be saying, who scheduled this? This is not right. I was up late night training. And so I'm going to experience life. I'm going to experience life, but I'm not going to look back and say, I didn't go for it. Does that make sense? Like it's weird. It's a weird concoction that people that are successful do. They do it. I guarantee, okay. It's big right here. Man said this, I thought it was pretty cool. He said, Martin Luther didn't have a dream. The dream had Martin Luther. Has your dream got you? What I just said, are you going for it because you know if you don't, you'll regret it? Or are you the person who's not going for it because you don't want to experience problems? You don't want to do headaches? You don't want to experience life? I want to experience life. I want to see what I can do. I'm going to try it. Kinda want it, ain't going to get it. It's that 100%. It's those people that get involved with us, and they've met them one time, and their whole life changes. And listen, I didn't change their life. They go home, and they say, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And they list it out, and then they start doing it. Their calendar, the secretary, the buying leads, the booking the appointments, not coming home for 3 days. And they do it. And I'm like, yes. Now, I know they're going to experience problems, but I'm excited because now they're going to experience life. And they've got a shot at getting a Ferrari. That's right. They get a shot at having their own plane. They get a shot at giving $100,000 to their church. Got a shot at giving $100,000 to their university. They got a shot at buying their mama that car they dreamed of. But not if they don't, if they shy away. And that 100% gets you there every time. It'll get you there. It'll get some excitement in your life. Tom Sawyer said this. He said, you pick up a cat by the tail, you will learn 33% more about a cat. You see what I'm saying? So I ain't never going to do that. Now, it's just stuff like that that's stuck in my head. 100% gets stuck. Struggle and criticism are prerequisites for greatness. People ask me, how are you going to explain how so-and-so don't like you or how this happened? I go, dude, stuff happens. I said it. I did it. I don't know. He's crazy. She's crazy. I don't know. We have a disagreement. They don't love me. They're not with me. I don't know what to tell you. Does that make sense? Except for struggle and criticism are prerequisite. And people say, like, you look me up, there's nothing bad about me. I go, and there's nothing good about you. Right. There's nothing great about you. There's nothing mediocre about you. It's like you didn't exist. That's right. That's right. What's up with that? Does that make any sense? Like, who are you? And why are you asking questions? Aren't you scared that you can't breathe if you ask a question? You know, shouldn't you have an oxygen mask or something, or a safety net underneath you? Criticizing me, and then I go like, I'm getting one. I remember at NC State, I wanted to get the prerequisites out of the way. There's going to be people that disagree. There's going to be people that criticize. You're going to have pain. You're going to have pain when you do life. Do you want the pain of doing life? Or do you want the pain of regret that you didn't try, that you didn't mess up, that you didn't? It's going to happen. And it's just, you can feel that you're alive when you feel that pain of life. So like Andy, you have a pain driving a Maybach. Yes, I think of stuff. And then I look at the leather, and I feel of it, and I forget about the other stuff. But it's still there. The criticism's still there. And now I'm thinking, what if I wrote a check for $200,000 to this guy and gave it away? And then it occurs to me, that's not going to make it feel better, but it will make him feel better. Does that make sense? So I'm alive. It's this hot and cold. It's there, but I got to do. That makes sense? I got to do. So you can't start over. You can't change the way it started. You can't change your beginning, but you can change your ending.
That's right. That's right. Sure can.
People say, you ending? I'm ending the show. I'm ending mediocrity. I'm ending trying to change people that I can't change. Even though I love them, I'm not going to try to change them. I am going to try to find people who share, people like us. Does that make sense? People who want to change America. And I'm meeting them in other walks of life, and I like supplying them with some cash, and I like telling them that they're trying to change for good America. I met somebody yesterday trying to change America. And I was like, let me encourage you to find one person on your team who wants to do it, and then another person on your team that wants to do it. They're not in our business. You say, why are you doing it like our business? Every business is like that. I told her, I said, find somebody that wants to help you change it, and then another person. She said, I think I got two. I said, you're going to need one more. You'll need one more. You're going to give me that team builder structure, baby. And she was like, what are you talking about? I said, never mind. Just get that one more person. She said, you know, that's what I was thinking. I said, you're right. So I'm teaching that mentality everywhere. People going to criticize you. They're going to come against you. But I'm out here trying, and you out there trying, and I'm giving money, and this person over here is trying. She said, I know that person's trying. I said, we should all make enough money that we can give them more money because they need funds. And we need to give them emotional support to change it. Does that make sense? Enough people buy into this. I'm telling you, enough people buy into this, we change America. We make a difference. If not enough people buy in, we change our business. America don't change, but we do get to have Ferraris. Does that make sense? We do get to support ministries in other countries. But here's what I think. I think we're going to win. I think America is the greatest country in the world, and I think people still be coming to it. I think more people going to it, and I think it's going to get better and better and better, and I think we're going to get to enjoy it, and we're going to get to travel to the Caribbean whenever we want to, and Mexico whenever we want to, and Europe when we want to, and come back up in here in America. And one day we're going to be doing it on private jets. Love y'all. Out of here. Bye-bye. See you. Thank you.